Welcome to the channel Crimes in the Dark. The operation unfolds in Rhoda, a region notorious for its high crime rates and drug trafficking. Here, a group of women, led by a charismatic and ruthless figure, runs a network of smuggling and money laundering. These criminals, who pose as respectable housewives, hide a web of illicit activities that have challenged authorities for years. After months of investigation and evidence gathering, the police finally collect enough information to dismantle this female-led criminal organization. The plan is to execute a large-scale operation involving an elite police team and undercover agents to infiltrate the network. As preparations advance, tension rises. Marco closely follows the details of the operation, interviewing the responsible officers and analyzing the challenges faced. He realizes this won't be an easy task, as the criminals are extremely cautious and have a network of informants keeping them one step ahead of the authorities. The night of the operation finally arrives. Marco positions himself strategically, ready to capture every moment of tension and action. The police, armed with heavy weaponry and bulletproof vests, take up key positions around Rhoda, awaiting the signal to start the operation. When the command is given, everything happens in a whirlwind of movement. The elite teams raid the suspect houses, catching the criminals in the act. Shouts, gunfire, and chaos ensue as the women desperately try to escape or resist the police. Marco attentively observes every detail, capturing the adrenaline and brutality of the operation. He notes the criminal skill in navigating the area, using alleys and shortcuts to try to flee. But the officers' determination to complete their mission is unshakable. As the operation unfolds, Marco watches with fascination the chase through the streets of Rhoda. The criminals, led by a strong-willed and intimidatingly charismatic woman, display impressive agility in their escape attempts. They split into groups, trying to shake off the police and reach escape points. Marco carefully follows the violent confrontations, with gunfire exchanged by both sides. The women's determination to escape is palpable, but the officers' skill and training are also evident. Amid the chaos, Marco captures moments of tension and drama, such as when one of the criminals is wounded during the chase, or when another is cornered in a dead-end alley and surrenders after a tense negotiation with the police. The screenwriter knows these scenes will be crucial in conveying the authenticity and emotion of the operation. As the pursuit through Rhoda streets continues, Marco's eyes remain fixed on the group's leader. This woman, with her strong personality and intimidating charisma, shows impressive skill in evading the police. She moves nimbly through alleys and shortcuts, using her intimate knowledge of the area to try and lose her pursuers. Marco watches with fascination, admiring her determination and quick thinking in the face of adversity. However, the elite police team doesn't give up easily. They stay close on her trail, using encirclement and blockade tactics to try to trap the criminal leader. The tension reaches its peak when she finds herself cornered in a dead-end alley, with the police aiming their weapons at her. At this crucial moment, Marco knows that the outcome of this chase will be decisive. He prepares to capture every detail, every expression, every movement that will determine the fate of this woman who has defied the law for so long. Surrounded by the police, the leader of the criminal group finds herself in a desperate situation. Her eyes frantically scan the surroundings, searching for an escape, but all routes seem blocked. Marco watches intently, noting every gesture and expression of this determined woman. He knows this will be the decisive moment, the climax of the police operation that will bring an end to years of illegal activities led by this charismatic and ruthless figure. The tension is palpable as the police, guns drawn, order the criminal to surrender. She, however, seems to have no intention of giving up. Her face contorts in defiance, and Marco realizes she is willing to do anything to escape. In a final act of desperation, the criminal leader attempts to surprise the law enforcement agents, advancing towards them with quick and unpredictable movements. The screenwriter follows with a racing heart, knowing that this confrontation's outcome will determine the story's direction. The final confrontation between the criminal leader and the police is tense and dramatic. Marco watches closely, capturing every detail that will shape the climax of this high-stakes operation. The woman, with her defiant gaze, charges at the officers, trying to catch them off guard with swift and unpredictable moves. But the elite team is prepared, fingers firm on the triggers, ready to respond to any threat. In an instant, gunshots echo through the streets of Rhoda. Marco follows the scene with bated breath, knowing that this final decision will seal the fate of this criminal who has long defied justice. As the smoke and chaos clear, Marco observes the figure of the leader lying motionless on the ground. The tense and cautious police approach to make the arrest, bringing an end to a long and intricate investigation. Marco knows this will be a crucial scene in his script, filled with tension, drama, and consequences. He mentally records it, aware that this police operation and the fate of that determined woman will be transformed into an engaging and realistic narrative capable of captivating and impacting the audience. Satisfied with the material gathered, Marco prepares to bring this story to life, turning facts into a fiction that resonates with the truth of criminal investigations. He knows this will be another challenge overcome, reaffirming his talent as a screenwriter specializing in portraying the complexities of the law and crime world. After the dramatic conclusion of the police operation, Marco delves into the aftermath of this story. He knows that the end of the female-led criminal network doesn't mean the end of the battle. The screenwriter interviews the involved officers, seeking to understand the consequences and impact of this action. He discovers that, although the leader was taken down, other members of the group are still at large and continue to threaten the region's safety. Marco also analyzes the reactions of the Rhoda community. He notices that, for many residents, this operation represents a victory, but it also raises complex issues about the relationship between the population and law enforcement. Some voices defend the criminals, questioning the police's use of violence. This web of repercussions and social reactions becomes essential for Marco's script development. He knows that, to portray the authenticity of this story, it's necessary to explore not only the operation's events but also the long-term consequences, political implications, and divergent perspectives. The screenwriter conducts additional interviews, gathering testimonies from residents, criminals' families, and public safety experts. This immersion allows him to create a multifaceted portrait of this reality, avoiding simplifications and presenting a comprehensive view of the operation's impact. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue bringing more criminal content from Brazil.